My dear friends, I come to you today with a truth that may be heavy for some, but necessary for all. Focus on yourself and let them go. In this journey we call life, we are often pulled in so many directions, seeking approval, love, and validation from those around us. But the question must be asked, whose voice do you hear most clearly? To focus on yourself is not selfishness. It is a profound act of self-love. It is to understand that your worth is not tied to the opinions or actions of others. Your value is woven into the very fabric of your soul. And when you stand in that truth, you no longer need the approval of the world to validate your existence. And my dear one, letting them go does not mean abandoning them. It means releasing the ties that bind you to things that no longer serve your growth. It means setting yourself free from the weight of the past and allowing space for your own healing. The people you love, the situations that have shaped you, and the circumstances you've endured, they've all had a place in your life. But there comes a time when the lesson is learned and it is time to move forward. Boundaries are not walls to shut others out, but acts of self-respect to keep your spirit intact. By setting boundaries, you are simply saying, I honor myself enough to protect my peace. There is nothing wrong with choosing your peace over chaos. It is not an act of cruelty, but of care. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so protect your well-being, guard your heart, and prioritize your mental clarity. Healing is a personal journey, one that requires no audience but yourself. You do not need anyone's approval to heal. The wounds that you carry within your heart, the scars that tell your story, are yours alone to mend. Do not seek to explain your pain, for some will never understand. Your healing is sacred, and it will unfold in its own time. Focus on yourself, my love. You are the one who you carry within you a great strength. That strength is yours, and yours alone. The world will often tell you to conform, to please, to shrink, but the strength to stand in your truth and to rise above the noise is within you. Let it rise. Let it fill you with the courage to let go of what holds you back. You are not defined by the expectations of others, and you are not bound by their approval. You are free to walk. True freedom lies in letting go. You have carried too much for too long. The weight of others' opinions, the burden of their expectations. It is time to let it all go. Let go of the people, the situations, and the fears that keep you shackled. You have nothing to prove to anyone. Your freedom is in your hands. So today I urge you, focus on yourself. Nurture your spirit, honor your boundaries, and let go of the things that weigh you down. The world will not stop spinning if you choose to step back and care for yourself. In fact, when you focus on yourself, you begin to shine brighter than ever before. Your light is too powerful to be dimmed by the past. Focus on yourself, my love, and let them go. For in doing so, you will find the greatest freedom of all, the freedom to be yourself. The journey to inner peace is a sacred one, and it begins not with the world around you, but with the world within. So often we look outward for validation, for affirmation, for a sense of belonging. We seek approval in the eyes of others, in their words, their gestures, their praises. But what if I told you that your worth was never meant to be measured by anyone other than yourself? What if your value was woven into your very soul, undiminished by the fleeting? To focus on yourself, to truly honor who you are, means to first acknowledge that you are enough. You do not need to change, mold, or diminish yourself to fit anyone's idea of what is right or acceptable. You, in your truest form, are worthy. The journey to self-worth is not about acquiring something that you do not already possess. It is about peeling back the layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity that have been built up over time. These layers, these voices, are not your own. They are the projections of a world that doesn't always understand or appreciate the depth of your spirit. When you begin to understand that you are enough, just as you are, a powerful transformation occurs. You no longer rely on the external world to define your worth. You stop seeking to please others at the cost of your own happiness. Your life is no longer a quest for approval, but a journey to embrace who you already are. In this space of deep acceptance, you begin to experience a peace that is unwavering, a peace that is not dependent on anyone. Recognizing that you are enough means giving yourself the permission to simply exist, without the pressure to be something you're not. The weight of comparison lifts and you are free to live in your own skin, without the need to conform to the expectations of others. The truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup, and so you must fill yourself up first. You must recognize your own value before you can give your love, your energy, or your gifts to the world. Your self-worth is not a commodity to be negotiated or diminished. It is your birthright, a truth that resides deep within you. But what happens when we allow others to define us? When we allow their judgments to shape our self-image? We lose sight of who we truly are. We give away our power, piece by piece, to those who may never truly understand us. When we look to the outside world for validation, we are handing over the keys to our peace. The truth is, the world will never satisfy the deepest longings of your soul. It is only when you look inward, when you turn your gaze toward your own heart, that you will begin to realize the extraordinary depth of your worth. You are worthy not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Your worth is not dependent on the roles you play, the titles you hold, or the approval you receive. You are worthy simply because you exist. You are a unique expression of life, and your presence in this world is invaluable. Once you accept this truth, you will no longer seek validation from a world that cannot see your worth. Instead, you will walk through life with your head held high, knowing that you are enough just as you are. The process of letting go can be difficult, for it often feels like we are leaving behind pieces of ourselves. We might wonder if we are abandoning the people, the situations, or the experiences that have been part of our story. But in truth, letting go is not abandonment. It is an act of self-preservation. It is an acknowledgement that in order to grow, you cannot continue carrying the weight of things that have already passed. You must release what no longer serves your highest good. For the burden of holding on to what hurts you will only hinder your progress. Letting go can be one of the most liberating acts you will ever experience. It can feel like a heavy weight being lifted off your shoulders, a burden that you no longer need to carry. The truth is, you are not defined by the past. You are not defined by the mistakes you've made, the hurts you've endured, or the people who have walked away. You are not confined to the story that has been written up until now. You are the author of your own journey, and you have the power to rewrite the next chapter. When you release what no longer serves you, you create space for something greater to come into your life. You make room for healing, for new opportunities, and for growth. You allow yourself to open up to the possibilities that await you in the present and the future. It is through the act of letting go that you make room for the life that you truly deserve. The past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. You are not beholden to it. In letting go, you also reclaim your power. You take back the control that was once given away to the people, the situations, or the pain that held you captive. You choose to focus on your own well-being, your own journey, and your own growth. And in doing so, you become free. My dear friend, release what no longer serves you. Let go of the past, the people, the memories, and the hurts that hold you back. Free yourself from the weight of what was, and step into the space of what can be. For in that space you will find the freedom to become the person you were always meant to be. Letting go is not an end, it is a new beginning. It is the act of creating space for your own growth, your own peace, and your own future. And in that freedom, you will flourish. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful forms of self-love you can offer yourself. It is a declaration not only to the world, but to your own soul. I honor myself enough to protect my peace, my well-being, and my energy. Boundaries are not about building walls or shutting others out. Rather, they are about creating space for yourself to exist in a way that nurtures your growth, your happiness, and your inner tranquility. When you set boundaries, you are choosing to honor your needs, your feelings, and your desires, in a world that often pressures you to conform to the needs of others. Too often we are taught to put others first, to sacrifice our own comfort for the sake of others' happiness or expectations. But true love, real, deep, unshakable love, begins with yourself. Boundaries are the foundation upon which that love stands. When you draw a line and say, this is where I stand, and this is where I need to protect myself, you are showing the world that you are worthy of respect. You are not allowing anyone under any circumstances to diminish your worth. In a world that constantly demands more of us, setting boundaries allows us to preserve the essence of who we are. People often struggle with boundaries because they fear rejection or the perception of being selfish. We worry that if we put ourselves first, others will view us as cold or unkind. But this is a misunderstanding of what boundaries truly are. Boundaries are not about rejecting others. They are about rejecting the behavior that harms or diminishes you. Setting a boundary is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of immense strength. It requires courage to stand firm in your needs and to say, this is not acceptable, or I cannot give more of myself without giving to my own soul first. When you focus on yourself and protect your peace through boundaries, you allow your relationships to grow in a healthier, more respectful way. By establishing clear limits, you communicate to others how you wish to be treated, and in turn you invite them to respect your space, your energy, and your emotions. Healthy boundaries foster mutual respect, understanding, and care. They create the space for relationships to be built on trust and genuine connection rather than on expectations, pressure, or manipulation. Boundaries are also essential for self-preservation. In a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, it is easy to lose sight of who we are and what we need. We give until we are empty, without realizing that we can only pour into others when our own cup is full. Setting boundaries is an act of self-preservation, a way to ensure that you do not lose yourself in the process of living for others. It is a reminder that you are not responsible for the emotional or mental well-being of everyone around you. You are only responsible for your own peace, and that is where your energy must be focused. When you respect yourself enough to create boundaries, you are making a statement that your well-being matters. You are choosing peace over chaos, self-respect over people-pleasing, and love over sacrifice. By honoring your boundaries, you free yourself from the emotional strain that comes with trying to meet everyone else's expectations. You create room for your own growth, your own healing, and your own happiness. My dear friend, do not be afraid to set the boundaries that honor your heart. Do not be afraid to say no when you need to. Do not be afraid to protect your peace, for it is a sacred space that allows you to flourish. Boundaries are acts of love, love for yourself and love for those around you. When you honor your own needs, you teach the world how to honor you, and in doing so, you create a life that is healing is one of the most personal and profound journeys one can embark upon. It is a path that no one else can walk for you, no matter how much they may want to. The wounds you carry are uniquely yours, shaped by your experiences, your struggles, and your story. Healing, therefore, does not require anyone else to understand the depths of your pain. It does not require the approval or comprehension of others, because it is yours to process, yours to mend, and yours to release in your own. So often we seek validation from the world around us when we are hurting. We want others to understand our suffering, to see our pain and offer comfort or guidance. While the love and support of others can be comforting, they cannot heal you. The truth is, no one can truly understand the complexity of your emotional landscape unless they have walked in your exact shoes. Even those who love you may offer advice or comfort that comes from their own experiences, which may not resonate with your own. Healing, therefore, is not about finding someone who can fully understand your pain. It is about finding the strength within yourself to embrace your pain, to face it, and to heal in your own time. The journey of healing is sacred. It is not something that can be rushed, and it is certainly not something that can be dictated by anyone else's expectations or timelines. We live in a world that values productivity, movement, and results. We are often told that we should get over it or move on when we experience pain, but healing cannot be rushed. It unfolds in its own time, at its own pace. Just as a flower cannot be forced to bloom before its time, neither can the heart be forced to heal before it is ready. And so, we must honor the process of healing, understanding that it takes as long as it needs to, without the pressure of meeting anyone else's expectations. Focusing on yourself is essential in the healing process. It means that you prioritize your well-being and your emotional needs, even if that means stepping away from people, places, or situations that may hinder your healing. It means creating the space for yourself to feel what you need to feel, without judgment or shame. Too often, we suppress our emotions because we are afraid of being burdened or misunderstood. But healing requires us to be honest with ourselves. It requires us to sit with the discomfort, to acknowledge our pain, and to allow ourselves the time to grieve, to release, and to grow. Healing also involves forgiveness, not necessarily of others, but of yourself. It is the understanding that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. It is releasing the guilt, the shame, and the self-blame that hold you captive. Forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others, but about freeing yourself from the emotional chains that keep you tethered to the past. When you forgive, you allow yourself to heal, to let go, and to move forward. The journey of healing may be long and it may be difficult, but it is one of the most transformative experiences of your life. It is an opportunity to rediscover yourself, to connect with your inner strength, and to emerge from the darkness with a deeper sense of wisdom and peace. As you focus on yourself, you will find that healing is not a destination but a process, one that shapes you into the person you are meant to become. My dear friend, know that your healing is sacred. Do not rush it. Do not compare it to anyone else's journey. Honor your process. Trust your own timeline and give yourself the grace to heal in your own way. For in doing so, you will not only heal your heart, but also find a new sense of peace and purpose that can only come from embracing your own journey. Within you lies a power that is both vast and profound, a strength that has been with you since the moment you were born. It is a strength that does not rely on external validation or approval, but a quiet, steady force that resides deep within your soul. It is the power to rise above, to face life's challenges with grace and resilience, and to stand tall in your own truth, regardless of what the world may say. Too often we forget this inner strength, allowing ourselves to be swayed by the expectations and judgments of others. But the truth is, your strength has always been within you, waiting for the moment when you choose to embrace it fully. To embrace your own strength is to let go of the weight that others' expectations place upon you. It is recognizing that you are not here to live for anyone else, and that you do not have to conform to the standards that others have set for you. Society, family, friends, and even strangers may have their own ideas of who you should be and what you should do, but none of those ideas define you. You are the author of your own story, and your path is yours to walk. No one else can determine your worth, your potential, or your purpose. It is only when you let go of the burden of others' expectations that you will find the freedom to live authentically. Too many of us carry the weight of trying to please everyone around us, striving to meet the expectations of others, even at the expense of our own happiness. But this is not your purpose. Your purpose is to honor yourself, to listen to your own heart, and to trust that the choices you make are the right ones for you. When you release the need for external approval, you open the door to a life of authenticity and self-empowerment. You begin to understand that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. Your strength is your own, and it has always been there, quietly waiting for you to acknowledge it. This strength is not about being unshakable or perfect. It is about finding the courage to stand tall in your truth, even when the world may not understand it. It is about knowing that you are enough just as you are, and that you do not need to prove anything to anyone. Your strength is not found in meeting the expectations of others, but in the unwavering belief that you are worthy of love, success, and happiness, simply because you exist. To own your strength is to trust in your own abilities, to believe that you are capable of navigating the challenges of life with resilience and grace. It is the courage to face your fears and insecurities, knowing that they do not define you. It is the inner confidence that tells you that no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to rise above it. Your strength is not something that is given to you by others, it is something that you cultivate within yourself. Day by day, through every challenge, every triumph, and every lesson learned. My dear friend, it is time to embrace your own strength. It is time to let go of the weight of others' expectations and to stand tall in your truth. Your power is within you, always has been, and always will be. Own it fully, trust in it completely, and know that you are capable of achieving all that you desire. You are not here to live anyone else's life but your own. And in embracing your own strength, you will find the courage to create the life you truly deserve. A life of authenticity, empowerment, and unshakable confidence. True freedom comes not from holding tightly to everything we've ever known, but from the courage to release what no longer serves us. It is easy to cling to things, people, and situations even when they no longer align with our growth or our well-being. We hold on to them out of fear, out of habit, or out of a misguided sense of obligation. But freedom lies in the ability to let go, to acknowledge when something or someone has run its course, and to make the conscious choice to. In doing so, we create space for new opportunities, for growth, and for a future that aligns with who we are becoming. We often think that to let go is to lose something, but in reality, letting go is a gift we give ourselves. When we hold on to something that isn't meant for us, we are only holding ourselves back from what is truly ours. The past may have shaped us, but it does not define us. The people, situations, and beliefs that once served us may no longer fit into the next phase of our journey. By releasing them, we free ourselves from their grip, allowing us to step into the future with clarity and peace. Letting go creates the space for new beginnings, fresh perspectives, and opportunities that we might never have seen if we were still trapped in the past. It is natural to feel fear when faced with the act of letting go. We fear the unknown, the uncertainty, and the discomfort that comes with change. But the truth is, holding on to what no longer serves us is far more painful than the fear of letting go. The weight of what we cling to can keep us from fully embracing the life we are meant to live. When we let go, we free ourselves from that weight. And in that freedom, we find the power to move forward, to grow, and to create a life that reflects our true desires. Freedom does not mean the absence of pain or struggle, but it does mean the freedom to choose how we respond to those challenges. By letting go of what no longer serves us, we take control of our lives in a way that empowers us to create the future we want. Letting go means choosing peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, and love over fear. It means choosing to live with intention, guided by the knowledge that what is meant for you will always find its way to you, and what is not will fall away, making space for the better things that are waiting for you. My dear friend, take a moment to reflect on what you are holding on to that no longer serves you. What can you release to make room for something greater? Remember that letting go is not an act of weakness, but one of profound strength and wisdom. It is through the act of releasing that we make way for transformation, growth, and new beginnings. And in that space of freedom, you will find the peace and fulfillment that come with embracing the future with open arms. Let go, trust in the process, and know that freedom is not just a destination, but a journey that begins the moment you choose to release what no longer belongs in your life. In conclusion, the journey of focusing on yourself and embracing your own power is one of deep self-love, courage, and inner strength. It is about